Hey everybody, I haven't made a regular weekly video for a long time, but I've been getting a few questions about how I use support and resistance. And there is another video on my channel about support and resistance, but I just wanted to update you a little bit. In fact, the chart I'm going to show you is from yesterday. So I'll show you how I use support and resistance and how it can be useful for you in your trading. So let's jump in and have a look at the chart now. So what we're looking at here is the XAU USD. This is the gold chart on the 10-minute time frame. That's the time frame that I use for trading the trend line strategy, and you can see the trend lines I have here on the chart. But this video is not about the trend line strategy. I wanted to share and kind of an update about how I use support and resistance. There is also another video on my channel about support and resistance, the three different types of support and resistance that you have and how to use those. But I just wanted to update a little bit. I do get a few questions about how I determine or how I draw the lines or how do I use support and resistance. So you can see here on this chart, this is yesterday, Friday, the 10th of April, 2026. And here are my horizontal support and resistance lines. These gray lines you see here, there's 4 of them. And this is the beginning of the day. This is the Asia Pacific market. And as the day progresses, I will draw the lines when I get support and resistance. And here we had a resistance level at a double top. And I drew it there rather than here because back here it was equal to the high at the beginning of the day. So I drew that one there. And then as you can see, as the day progresses, you've got the London and the US market opening, and it bounced around up around this zone. This is where it's consolidating, okay? It didn't hit it exactly. It broke a little bit below, a little bit above. And then over here later in the session, it again became a very solid or strong support and resistance zone. And then you can see down here, I put a line here, and then during the day it came over and again touched there, and over here again touch there, and over here again touch there. And then down at the bottom, I had a double bottom here on these 2 candles, so I put the line there. Now, how can you use support and resistance? How does it benefit you? Well, it can give you an idea of where you might want to put a take profit, say up here, or you might want to put a stop loss. That is if you're in a buy trade or a sell trade. It depends what kind of trade you have open, but it gives you an idea of where the price is going to go. Now, the price will go to where it's been before. That's what support and resistance is. It doesn't matter what you're trading, commodities, currencies, indexes, it just doesn't matter. Price will go to where it's been before. That's the way all things move in forex. They go from one level to the next level to the next level, or down to the next level to the next level. If you don't believe that, this is just today, yesterday, Friday. All right, I put this support and resistance line here, okay, as the market progressed during the day. Let's just go back and look and see. Look at that right there, and look at that right there. That's where the price has already been, and it's where it goes again. So let's look at this one here, and you see that's where the price had already been, and that's where it goes again. So that's how support and resistance works. Prices just go from one level to the next level where they have been in the previous time in history. And that's how support and resistance is used. Now, you can draw your lines if you want, and I do that. It's very easy just to put a line here on the, say, for example, on the double top. Or you can use an indicator. If you're using Tradingview, I use the pivot points standard indicator, and that gives me major support and resistance. You have a pivot point here, the blue line, and that's where the starting point of the day, and where the pivot point acts kind of like a magnet, where the price will pull away from that, and then the magnet draws it back to it, or it will go down away from it, and then the magnet draws it back to it. Now, that's kind of the starting point of the day, where currencies and commodities will usually begin their trading. But then you have major support and resistance, and with this indicator on Tradingview, they are major because these are like 500-600 pips apart. But you will always have minor support and resistance during the day where price will react at and react to, pull away from or go back to. So it's very easy to draw those if you want. I have, if you use MT4 or MT5, I have a free indicator for both of those platforms that will adjust the support and resistance lines for you automatically and put them on the chart. At the beginning of the day, you have new support and resistance lines for that day, and it goes from R1 to R3 or S1 to S3. So if you want those, they're on my website, rickrayfx.com. There's a tab at the top that says free indicators. So help yourself to that. It's absolutely free download, no obligation. If you'd like to have those and install them on your MT4, MT5 platform. There are two different indicators. The MT4, if you're using that, you have to use the MT4 indicator. And if you're using MT5, you have to use the MT5 indicator. All right, so that's my little update on support and resistance. It's how I use it. It's very, very useful. For example, we see the price going up here. You'd like to know where it's going. It's likely it could go to that major level there, but not necessarily. So you would have your first support and resistance here. So you'd be watching for that, knowing that you might want to take profit or you might want to have a stop loss there, depending on which way you're trading. When it's coming down from this double top, you would have that support there, so you'd know you'd be watching to either exit the trade or perhaps hold on to it, and it might drop down to the next level. So they give you targets for where you can place your take profit or your stop loss. Very, very useful. And you see some traders only use support and resistance. Okay, I use them in conjunction with trend lines. And I do have a moving average that sometimes I use, but generally I just use the trend lines and support and resistance. So I hope this video was helpful to you. If you have any comments or questions, just leave a comment below this video and I will get back to you. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you have a great day, a great weekend, and I'll see you again next time.